standing here right by your side. I will be standing here till the end of time. I will be standing here all through the night, till the stars align. Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I, jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making moves. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views. Come and fly away, come and fly away, come and fly away with me.
Hello, guys. Good morning. Hope all is well. Do you want to stay on the phone or do you want to hang up?
I can hear you fine. I'll hang up.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Well, I hope everybody's doing good. Good morning, Ginger Snap. How are you this morning? Glad to see you in here, sweetheart. We're going to try to just sit around and wait a few minutes and see if we get any more in here. Crazy Nurse. Well, hello. Yeah, exactly. Really? An accident? Did I not call this not yesterday, but last Thursday on my live, guys? I literally sit here and said that with that video of that car going in the lake just like that, they were going to come out within the next few days and say, it's an accident. See, guys, we told you it was an accident. And did anybody listen to Plunder's video where she read the 18-page report of the autopsy report where it says cause of death, drowning, accidental. What caused the accident? Come on. There's no mention of no alcohol, no mention of no drugs, nothing. Evidently, they're trying to say that she just drove into the lake. Well, if she drove into the lake, that wasn't an accident either. What do you guys think? The autopsy report was weird to me. Yeah, and especially the way that dude wrote it up. Because, I mean, it sounded like somebody literally that had seen an accident on the side of the street and was giving their report to the cops. I mean, it just did not sound right at all. And no pictures. The coroner took absolutely no pictures when they pulled that car out of the water till the time they loaded her body in the body bag and took her to the morgue. No pictures were took by the coroner. None. How can you determine if it was an accident or not if you don't have any pictures to see what was going on, how the body was positioned, that kind of thing? It's all BS, because how can you drown with no water in your lungs? Oh, I didn't get that far into it. Did it say there was no water in her lungs? And what else? You know what else really got me? Was we all know about the tattoo she has on her rib cage, the 17, and yet the coroner or whoever it was said that there was no tattoos on her body. Yeah, all it did was add questions, discovering I agree. No, the coroner states in the final coroner's report, so obviously there's not going to be any more, that he did not take any photos of the body whatsoever. They explained that one leg was against the pillar in the car, the back window of the car, and the rest of her body was positioned against the backs of the back seats in a position to where you couldn't even see the body from outside the car. But there was no photographs taken whatsoever. And the cause of death was drowning. But yet it was an accident. But no mention, no drugs, no alcohol, no nothing. And no mention of what caused the accident. Unless they're trying to say it was, she unalived herself on purpose. And if she did it on purpose, then that was no accident. I mean, does anybody find all this just a little bit strange for it to actually literally come out exactly 1 week after the little video footage came out from the fire cams? I told you that's what was going to happen. I told you that's what that footage was for. And I'm telling you, I believe somebody edited that footage because, for one, a car don't go. I shared on my community tab a dude that did a test that shows no matter if the battery is submerged in water, the fuses, everything is submerged in water, the headlights do not go off until the battery dies. The headlights do not go off just because the car goes underwater. And yet, the minute that her phone pinged last was the minute her car submerged underwater. Little strange to me. And the alcohol wasn't in her stomach, so all the alcohol in her body was from bloating. Yeah, that was about the most incomplete autopsy I've ever seen. Yeah. Well, you're a real nurse, right? So you know a little bit more about this than we do. Yeah, I don't understand any of it either, especially where it says that she hasn't, what's the word? I can't think of the forensic. She hasn't forensically been identified yet. The body has not forensically been identified. That's the way I understood it. But they identified who her mom and everything was. I wish AWP would release the rest of their videos. Yeah, me too. I would love it if Doug or Jared or any of them would come up on my panel and just tell us what was in the videos. They don't even have to show the videos, but tell us what they saw. And they did say that if this all looks like it's going to be swept under the rug, that they were going to release the rest of the videos. Remember? Also look at full video of her car going into the water. More cars are involved. I only learned one thing from the autopsy report, that it was a cover-up like most of us already knew. Exactly. And like I said, I knew they were going to come out within a week and say it was an accident. I knew they were. I'm not trying to sit here and say I knew it and nobody else did. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying that I did call this last week. I'm afraid AWP might have been slapped with a gag order. Well, a gag order don't stop leaks with videos. Come on. Even the FBI gets leaks every now and then, All they got to do is let that video slip somewhere. The body produces chemicals in the decomposition, and alcohol dissipates over time. Within 2 weeks, though, it was within 2 weeks. Somewhere around in there. But that's still, they would have they could rule it other than drowning or an accident. They can't just drop it. With it being dark and the other cars around, what if somebody drove her there and went out the open window and swam to another place in the water and grabbed her right out? Well, you know what, guys, is slow. I know there's discrepancies or arguments about how slow or how fast that car was going in the water. To me, it didn't look like it was going very fast at all. Everybody's assuming somebody got in that car and drove it into the water. What if somebody was just standing beside it, steering it, and a couple of other people were behind it, pushing it, and you just push it into the water? Then nobody had to worry about swimming out or, saving their own life or, oops. Possibly, although liver can maintain it, still would have been somewhat lower. Well, what about drugs? How long would drugs stay in the system? Many, many possibilities. Exactly. Hello, Stay Tiger. Good evening, Miss Nana. Hope all is well with you. Warmest smiles and prayers to all in chat to have a good day. Well, aren't you just the cordial gentleman? You're such a sweetheart. Oh, I got something to get you guys laughing this morning. And I've just been told about this, okay? So I'm not in the political arena or on one side or the other. But I've heard that there's been a news briefing came out this morning from Colorado. I believe it was Denver, I'm not sure, but whoever it was, that they had to come out with an announcement that no, the school district does not supply litter boxes for the children in the bathrooms. It's been reported that they supply litter boxes in the bathrooms at the schools for the children who believe they are cats to use the bathroom in. And I just wanted to get that out there, guys. That's evidently not true. They don't do that. I guess they just let them go in the floor. Sorry. I just find it hilarious. I find it hilarious either way, if they really do or even if they don't, that they had to put that out there. I've heard people say it's been confirmed the car was going 11 miles an hour. I don't know who they confirmed it with, but it's BS. Well, wonder if somebody had a, what the cops use to see if they're driving the right speed. Drugs would stay longer. I thought so. Yeah, Kathy, that it's true, honey. In Colorado, schools do not supply litter boxes for the children who think they're cats, or who identify as cats. Hello, Damus. Demarius. Lisa Huntley. Yeah. Hello, everybody new coming in. Glad to see you guys here. Does anybody have any personal thoughts on the Kiely Rodni thing? Because there's got to be more to this story. There's no way the FBI can let this just rest. It was an accident. A 16-year-old just drove herself into the lake. Oh, Kathy. It's discrimination to the wannabe kitties. I heard somebody, supposedly a nurse, say that after death, drugs don't break down anymore, like they are stuck in the system. Well, crazy nurse, what do you say about that? No, you can't make this crap up. You really can't. And trust me, I didn't. I just got off the phone with somebody that was telling me about it. So I didn't make it up at all. I just think it's hilarious. You say total cover up? I do too. There's something. You agree it's a cover up? Well, what kills me is that they honestly think they can get away with it. And what's even worse is more than likely they're going to get away with it. Unless AWP can come out and prove otherwise. The eyeballs hold everything. Did they test the eyeballs? Really, Kathy? Is that true? I don't know. In the coroner's report that Plunder read, they said that her the decomp was so severe in her facial features, and the bloating in the rest of her body was so severe that she was not recognizable. So I don't know if God, please forgive me for even saying this, but I don't know if the fishies got to her eyes or what. I don't know if there was anything there for them to test, but I don't think they even tested anything. They say they removed all the necklaces, her bracelets, her rings, and they were bagged and sent to somewhere to be looked into. Hello, Bob G. How are you? Kiely is going to be forever remembered as that foolish girl who took a wrong turn and drove into the lake with that accidental drowning ruling. Right. And you know what really kills me, and I don't know where Doug and them got this from. This case will be remembered for. That was no wrong turn. It's not a wrong turn road, whatever it was they said. I was complaining to Don B yesterday. I don't know why they labeled that. Wrong turn in that sense is talking about being out in the country somewhere. You turn on the wrong road and a bunch of maniacs that live in the mountains come out and get you. You know, like everybody thinks of Beach Creek. That's what a wrong turn road means. Why would they describe her turning the wrong direction like that? I just don't get it. Nana, yes, drugs stop breaking down in death. And yes, the eyes are one way to do the toxicology. What? And like I said, I didn't watch the whole video that Plunder where she was reading the toxicology or the coroner's report. But at what point I seen they did say that it was ruled an accident. The cause of death was drowning. But then later on said that cause of death was pending. And that the forensic identity testing was pending. But this was a final coroner's report. How does that work? How can it be a final report if everything is still pending? And how can they rule it as an accidental drowning death if they don't know what caused the death? It's still pending. I heard that when my brother died, they tested his eyeballs in the autopsy. Wow, really? I thought it was fake, just like he faked the fake black box report, the fake death certificate. But Zav said it came straight from FOIA. She didn't take no wrong turn. She was sober. You think she was sober? You don't think all this bullcrap about her being drunk and couldn't walk and couldn't talk and all that stuff was true? Because she may have been sober. I'm not saying that she wasn't. She may have been drunk. But I don't know any 16-year-old that's going to go to a party and not drink something. But if she was drinking, then they can't. And with all this, they have supposed eyewitnesses to her drinking. So how can they rule it an accidental drowning if they knew she was consuming alcohol? Nana, did the toxicology report give the amount? It didn't even talk about the toxicology. That's what I'm saying. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I got as far, past everything down to where they were identifying the mother, the father, blah, blah, blah. They said they didn't have any DNA that they could test. And I don't get that either, because can't you get DNA out of their teeth? Anything like that. The hair. I'm not a medical expert. I don't know about these things, but I'm asking you. There is some way they could have got DNA. Is there not? They dig people up after years and years and years and get DNA out of their bones. How could they not get DNA out of a girl that was only been passed away for 2 weeks? And guys, just to let you all know, I'm not an expert investigator. I'm not, I am a normal person just like you guys who have questions upon questions about all these cases. All I'm trying to do is get the information out there, try to get their names, their stories, their faces out there, and give my opinion and my theories while I'm at it. Her DNA is in the teeth, and that's what I thought. Well, I guess there wasn't no bones or teeth left, because they plainly say on the coroner's report they could not collect. There was no DNA that they could collect. She had no alcohol in her stomach. The only alcohol was in her body from bloating. Sammy said she was drunk and told everyone else to say that obviously she is in power. Look at the searching. Right. I can't remember the coroner's name, but he's following the Truckee rule and protecting the community. Well, wasn't the coroner and the sheriff the same person? The woo dude or wee dude or whatever his name is. Hello, dazed and confused. How are you today, sweetheart? I can't remember if he was the coroner or if he was the medical examiner. I agree with you, honey. They are all full of shit. Excuse my language. Hello, Miss Corey. Good morning, afternoon, whatever. Those fish had 2 weeks to pick away at her in that 80-degree water, so she was a mess. I'm just flabbergasted by it all. And I have to agree with Don B on this one. I think AWP needs to ASAP get those videos, if they have any more, out. And they did say that if it looks like it's going to be swept under the rug, that's when they're going to release the rest of their videos. Well, I'm telling you, AWP, it's getting swept under the rug. You need to go ahead and come on out with those. And if you can't, you have a gag order on you, then you need to make sure that somebody gets those videos. Then they didn't even do a toxicology report. I watched too many crime shows to know they can get DNA from cremains. Hi, Carrie. How are you this morning, sweetheart? Right. I mean, I know that Bob's right, that the fishies do that. Trust me, I had a cruel and sick mother-in-law who used to, because me and my husband used to go fishing a lot in the lakes, and she had to point that out to me many, many times. She was just trying to ruin my day, by doing it. But she would say, how could you eat freshwater fish? They feed on this and they feed on that. And yeah, I don't eat freshwater fish no more. Wu supposedly wasn't the coroner. I don't know about the medical examiner. Zav putting it on her community page. I'll check later. Okay. Well, no, he was the medical examiner, or he was the coroner, one of the two. I believe the coroner, because the coroner is the one that comes and examines the body and says, okay, yes, this person is deceased. And then the medical examiner has the doctorate and does the actual autopsy. I believe. I may be wrong, guys. I don't know. I just find it amazing. And not that I'm just amazed at myself that I was so right, but it's how many people put out last week when that video came out that this was going to, that they would, how many people called this? I knew that it was going to be ruled an accident as soon as that video came out. And I just can't believe that they actually went through with it, knowing so many people knew that's what they were going to do. You really believe they're going to get away with this? And what really kills me is that her mom, her loving, doting, helicopter parenting mom that she was, is just letting it all slide. She's just letting it go. I don't see how a mother could do that. Megan said she knew for sure Kiely had coke in her system, but it wasn't on the autopsy. Right. There was nothing on the autopsy. I watched Dr. G on True Crime Channel. She did Kiely Anthony. She did Kiely Anthony's autopsy. People in high places have high bank accounts, can do anything. Pretty much, yeah. That's what I say too, honey. I honestly believe, Carrie, that they will get away with it. But they won't if AWP does what they said they were going to do. But wait a minute. You got to think, though. Does AWP want to risk their reputation and go against law enforcement? They might not want to get law enforcement or FBI against them, because then when they go to another town to do a job, then, they might run across snags in the road, before they can get their job done. So they may not come out with their videos. They may not come out with what they know, because they might be worried about saving their own butts like everybody else. And that is sad. It will be a sad day if AWP lets this all be swept under the rug to save their own butts. They will sacrifice this child to save their own butts, unless they come out with those videos. And if anybody knows them or can get that message to them, please do get that message to them. You can tell them I said it. I don't think you're supposed to sacrifice any child for any reason. There's absolutely no reason to sacrifice any child. And it kills me when people do. Guys, like y'all know, I've been having issues with my internet. Has anybody heard if there's any new news on Quentin? Did they ever find his remains? Because I've not heard this morning. I don't think they have, but. And that right there, people can say that, oh no, she worked by herself and she's the main suspect, the mom. She's the main suspect, blah, blah, blah. There's no possible way that Leilani could be the only freaking suspect when the boyfriend is the one that called 5:59 in the morning and told the babysitter, we don't need you today. And supposedly he's the last one to see the child alive. If everybody is saying this, Candace had to be the one that done something with Summer or knows where Summer's at, because she was the one that was responsible for her. She's the last one that seen her. Why do the rules change for this dude? I'm not saying the mom is innocent, but I'm saying, don't you think he would have been in on it? Well, I'm behind on chat big time, huh? Everybody's going to be mad if AWP don't produce something they already said they had, especially now after its obvious cover-up. Exactly. AWP have families, and they probably know the mess that it would start. Well, you know what? They're the ones that put themselves in that position. It wouldn't be saving their own butts. It would be so they can continue what they do. Well, Okay, fine. It wouldn't be saving their own butts. And then maybe I misspoke that term. But it would be so that they can continue doing what they do. And they're still sacrificing that one child to do what they do. That's still sacrificing a child. Like everybody keeps saying that the cops aren't doing anything about Summer because they're working on such a bigger case. They're trying to gather all this information so they can make this huge bust. Well, what makes Summer any less important than any of the other kids? What makes Kiely any less important than any of those other cases that they're going to go and be solving? If we don't start calling out these people that are covering this stuff up, it's never going to stop. It's just going to get worse. Got to go for a bit. Okay, sweetheart. Not that I heard, and I believe that mess was faked. I don't know if somebody hacked her account or it's a made-up Facebook with her pictures. I heard that Daniel was very short with the babysitter, but they allowed her to take the other boy. Huh? That's not what I heard. And as far as I know, the best I can conclude, guys, is that Zane is with his dad now, from what I can understand. I don't know that for 100% certain, but I'm almost positive that's where he's at. I'm not buying it. It says continuing what they do is saving their own butts. Thank you. But if I worded that wrong, it's okay. What I was saying is still what I was saying. I'm not saying it right, but they are probably struggling with what to do. They will be danged if they do and danged if they don't. Come on, AWP, do the right thing and release the videos. I don't think so, Nana. I think Hawkins County covered their butts or really dropped the ball on this case. I know they did, honey. I know they did. The babysitter said that? All kids are in custody of another family member. Right. Well, there's only 2 other kids. But the oldest one, that's Quentin's father. They both belong to the same guy. And he's fighting for custody of the oldest one right now. And his brother says that Zane is fine, safe, and they know where he's at. So I'm assuming he's with his dad. Hello, Ashley. OMG, I actually caught up with you. You're live. It's been forever. How are you, Nana? I'm good, sweetheart. I'm glad you're here. I doubt if there is a rumor AWP did release the video. I have no way to check that. You doubt it, but there's a rumor. Okay. I don't know. That's what I was asking. I don't think they have, but I was just checking with everybody else to make sure because my internet's wacky. And last night, y'all would not believe the trouble I went through trying to go live last night. I am so sorry. I tried to go live on my phone. And my microphone on my phone is so sensitive. It sounded like the TV was sitting right beside my phone. So I couldn't even hear myself talk, even though I was in the bedroom with the door shut and the TV was in the living room. You could hear every breath I took, every creak in the chair I was sitting in. And then on top of that, when I went to try to go live, it popped me up. I was already on screen, but then it popped me up again as a guest on my own panel. And it just wasn't working. I don't know what the crap was going on with it, but it just wasn't working. So I had to just delete it. They've not found the baby yet. Okay. Well, I had a psychic or something similar to a psychic tell me they probably needed to look like 1.5 miles away from there and maybe in a trailer park or something. Don't know how accurate that would be, but they didn't say anything about the landfill. But you know how law enforcement is with YouTubers. That's just like I would love to go to TBI over the Clyde of Trent and give them my theory about that. But they do not listen to YouTubers. They basically put you on a circle loop on a recording when you call them. Or they just blow you off and hang up the phone. Hello, Selena Dixon. How are you doing this morning? Sorry, guys, this afternoon, whatever it is. I was trying to talk with my son this morning and I just started squalling over all this. Just every time, we start looking at one kid or another and trying to find out what happened to them and where they're at. For every one that we look at, it seems like 3 to 5 more go missing every day. And it's just getting out of hand. I'm just getting really depressed over it, guys. Hence why I've not had a lot of videos and stuff this week. It's early evening. So what does that mean? Like 2 o'clock, early evening? Yeah, I did listen to your video on the Trent theory. I ain't sure how to spell that lady's first name, LOL. Clyda, Clyda. Clyda. 7 p.m. UK time. That's early evening? Oh, wow. Well, evening time for me is like 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Early evening would be 2, 3. Afternoon is like, 12:30, 1 o'clock to 2. I guess I'm just weird. I don't know, guys. I'm just, and then to literally have the officials, the police, the FBI, whoever it is in the Kiely Trent case, or Lord forgive me, Kiely Rodni case, to just sweep this all under the rug. Oh, wow. It's late afternoon at 4 p.m. Okay. I'll cheer up, Nana. If we can save just one child from abuse, it's all worth it. I agree, honey. I agree. But I just don't understand all these law enforcements and stuff and everybody that thinks sacrificing one child, sacrificing one for the many. But that's not true. It's like a penny saved is a penny, penny earned is a penny saved. And all the pennies add up. Well, all the kids add up too, even if it is just one at a time. It breaks my heart that all these kids are out here, and it seems like us, the citizens, the individuals that are mostly concerned about these children, they can't do anything more than what we're doing. But the officials, FBI, state, law enforcement, local law enforcement, these are the people that can do something. And they're the ones that's not doing anything. Pushing a bunch of papers around on a desk and calling it a day. and say, oh, we did our best. We did a full investigation. We found nothing wrong. We don't see anything that these parents have done that warrants putting them in jail. I'll believe Kiely's autopsy when it starts snowing in hell. Right. My son gets mad at the other creators because they have very little sympathy or empathy, and he says you're honest and caring. Oh, well, tell your son thank you. Your son listens to me? Or is he forced to listen to me because you watch me? But you tell him I said thank you. It breaks my heart too, and it seems like nobody else cares. I heard Leilani or Grandma didn't even want flyers put up. Why? Wow, really? Oh, that gets me onto another. Oh, let me tell you something. Ellie said baby Q is deceased. Right. But they can't say why, other than the fact that Grandma evidently received or sent a text saying that the daughter told her that she done it. I think they found something more in that house. What's more depressing to me is it's being done by the parents more so than strangers. I don't get it, and it makes me sick and furious. Me too. Getting back to Grandma. Why have they not put her in jail already? They may need to build a case against Leilani, the mother, to find out what actually happened to the child or whoever was involved in it. Got that. But Billy Joe and how this works out, I just heard on a video right before I went live that it was confirmed that she actually received custody of the two boys a week before Quentin went missing. When I thought she'd already been out of town for 2 weeks, she had custody and she had to go to work out of town. And it supposedly was a 2-week thing, or she had been out of town for 2 weeks. That's not a for sure thing, guys. It's just what I heard. But either way, Grandma had custody of those children. She put those children in a situation to where they were not safe. She is the one that was not responsible. That would be like taking your children and setting them out on the side of the road and driving off. Well, somebody will watch them. Well, she took these children and left them with somebody that the state did not feel was capable of taking care of and keeping those children safe. And yet she left those children with that person. And in the result, that baby got gone and more than likely has passed on. That woman needs to go to jail. She needs to be charged now. We don't need to prove a case against her. The case is already set against her. Her part in it is already done. So why have they not put handcuffs on that woman? Hello, God's chosen one. Good to see you back in here, sweetheart. Everyone go to the Department of Justice website, select submit and select U.S. attorneys from the drag down menu and flood them about Kiely. God is not happy, nor am I. I have instructions on my short. Okay. Everybody go check out God's chosen one's short. How would they know he's deceased if they haven't found his body or a significant amount of blood? And that should be enough to charge somebody, right? How can Dolly say that it's just his opinion unless he was there? What, that she suffered? I seen that. Kelly White said that Dolly says that she suffocated him. Well, yeah, that goes back to my main question. If she suffocated him, when? Supposedly the boyfriend called the babysitter at 5:59 and said, we don't need a babysitter today. And at 6 o'clock, he saw him alive and well in the playpen. And then what was it, 7:30 or so, that he's seen driving around the neighborhood real slow? 911 didn't get called until 9 o'clock. So when did this woman suffocate her baby? And if the boyfriend was there, why didn't he know about it? Why isn't he included in on this suspicion? Something's not right there. Again, something's not right there, guys. Dolly profits off that. That should tell you who Dolly is. Yeah, I know he's there. Dolly is in the town. When my son was small, my friends helped me if I got overwhelmed, or if they was overwhelmed, I watched their children, or just go over and help. Exactly. Well, it's like when my daughter had her first baby. That was right after, and I don't remember where it happened. I'm thinking it was Knoxville, but it may not have been. But where a mother got overwhelmed, and she went to her mother and 2 friends. She had 3 small kids, and she told them, she begged them to help her. She begged them, and nobody would help her. Nobody would take the kids, nothing. And she went to the bridge, and she threw all 3 of her babies over the bridge. And then they charged her. So when my daughter had her baby, and my daughter called me up and said, Mama, she won't stop crying. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what to do. My butt was there. No matter what I was doing, I was there. Because guess what? That was my child, and it's my job to help take care of my own child and my grandchild. So I helped my daughter out. I didn't wait for something to go haywire. Not that it would have. I'm just saying. I didn't sit back and say, oh, well, you made your bed, you lie in it. No. These are my blood. This is my children, my family. It is just as much the grandparents' job to help raise the grandchildren as it is the children. How can any grandparent put a grandchild in jeopardy? How could any parent? I'm rambling, guys. So sorry. But I can't believe this crap. He said it happened at night, the night before. If it happened the night before, the boyfriend is involved. It's what I've been saying from the start. Ellie already said they weren't charging anybody with drugs or underage drinking, and Sammy supposedly has immunity, according to her. Yeah, well, if suffocation, then why the luminol? I'm afraid it may have been something much more. Oh, it's all horrible, but looking for blood stains. Yep. And I think they found enough to say that the baby is no longer with us. I feel the grandmother didn't teach her daughter, if you have a baby, you don't get to be the baby. Exactly. We are so much alike, Nana, when it comes to being a mama and a grandmama. I love that. I love that too, honey. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only crazy one out here that believes that God gave us children to love, protect, and take care of. And in that sense, whatever child they may have is sort of included in on that branch, you know? I mean, you adopt a dog, you take care of it, you feed it, you protect it, you do the best. When it has puppies, what do you don't just let them run loose and say, oh, well, that was your problem. You had them, you deal with it. No, you take care of the puppies. You make sure they're okay when they're delivered. You make sure they have their shots and stuff before you give them away. You make sure you keep them safe. So they're not, and you don't leave it up to the dog to go out here and make sure that it's got a good home. You find the puppies a good home. So how is it any different when it comes to your child and any offspring they have? That is your blood as well. How can you not try to do your best for all involved? In North Carolina, we have the safe haven law where if you can't handle your kid or you just don't want them, you can just drop them off at a police station, fire department, church, or hospital. Yes, but since Summers cases came out, I always thought that was true too, and I thought that was at any point, right? No, that's not. The only time you don't get charged with the felony of, or I don't know if it's a felony or not, but the only time you don't get charged with abandoning your child is if you do it within the first 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks after a baby is born to abandon it. But guess what? If you abandon it, they still run DNA and track your butt down. Anytime after 2 weeks, if you abandon a baby, no matter where you do it, you get charged with abandoning the baby. Y'all, I think the boyfriend has some hand in all this tragedy. Guilty knowledge or assistance. I believe it was assistance. Why didn't she just let the sitter keep them? Something not right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Why did the boyfriend call at 5:59 telling the babysitter that she wasn't needed? There's something, and I still say that the mom was asleep in bed when all this took place, where she was probably at every day when the boyfriend dropped the kids off at the babysitters. Every day. Remember, he was always the one that dropped them off. Where was mom? Laid up, piled up in the damn bed, like most girls her age who have children. I'm cynical today, guys. I can say, thank God, my children weren't like that. If my children needed help with their kids, they knew to call and ask for help. But 90% of the time, they did everything on their own. I don't know how nobody knows what happened, because from what I heard, there was 5 people living in that house. In Quentin's house. Well, there would have been Leilani, Daniel, Tom, and Billy Joe, and then the 3 kids. Hello, Lisa Renee. How are you today, babe? Not seen you in a long time. I hope your health is good. Did the mother have a life insurance policy on Kiely? Accidental, it would be covered. Well, that's never been actually verified whether or not, but I'm assuming they did. I was looking at a picture of Leilani's Facebook, and every picture the boyfriend was holding Quentin, not his mom. James Hamilton. My mother sees my 2 kids multiple times a week. It is very healthy for all 3 of them, and I am so appreciative of her help. Thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'll say thank you because, trust me, if they're a good mother to begin with, there's no, even if they're a bad mother, by the time they become grandmothers, there's nothing more special in the world than your grandchild. Nothing. The day my oldest grandchild was born, I told my kids right then and there, if it ever came down to them or my grandchild, they'd have to hit the door. My kids were my world till they had kids. And when they had kids, nope, sorry, you're grown. I did my best, but these are innocent babies and they are going to be looked out after first and foremost. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd still do anything in the world for any of my kids, including cook and clean for them. And if there was something happened to one of them, change their nasty ass diapers. God forbid anything was to happen to one of my kids like that, but I would do it. Hello. Charging my mic and earphones and then back on panel, but stumbled across this channel first. Well, we're glad to have you here, Gypsy. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the conversation. It's mainly just me complaining and bitching about all these monsters that live in this world that are doing this stuff to these kids. And I'm not just talking about the parents or the strangers that are doing it. I'm talking about the law enforcement that are not preventing it or not coming out with the truth. I know not everyone has motherly instincts, honey. Even after they're a mother. I haven't found a life insurance policy on Kiely yet, but I did find out that Barrett Business Services Incorporated owed her wages, so obviously she had a job at some point. Huh. You do believe that KR was an accident, and I stand by that. Okay, that's fine. And everybody has a right to their own opinion and their own beliefs, sweetheart. But can I ask you a couple of questions? And I mean, it's a healthy debate, or you know what I mean. But can I ask you a couple of questions? Okay. If it was an accident, how did she accidentally drive into the lake? I mean, everybody's saying, okay, and I hate that term, but it's a no wrong turn road, okay? It's not a wrong turn road. If she wasn't drinking, she wasn't doing drugs, she would have been bumping along. She had headlights. She could tell the difference between a road and the sandy beach. Now, we're just saying, if she wasn't drinking, she wasn't doing any drugs, she would have had her senses to her. How could it have been an accident? She would have been able to see where she was going. It was dark and she was wasted. Nope, not according to the coroner's report. Coroner's report, she was clean. She died from a drowning. It was a pure accident. No drugs, no alcohol. So that would mean that obviously they're trying to say that she done it to herself. She unalived herself. But if she unalived herself, then that's not an accident either. Coroner's report shows ethanol. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch the whole, I didn't watch Plunder read the whole 18 pages, but I did not hear anything about ethanol being in her system. It plainly states that it was ruled as a drowning was the cause of her demise. Okay. Well, honey, I respect your abilities, your opinion. That's why I'm asking. I'm not a medical expert, but I am a paralegal, and I've seen plenty of autopsies. Yes, lots of ethanol, and it is something your body can produce in decomp. Okay, so if it can be produced during decomposition, then how did that aid in her ability to drive or know where she was going? Nana, somebody here drove their car off a half bridges because GPS told them there was a bridge and it was the best route. That bridge's been out for years. Okay, well, I guess there are really stupid people out there. That I understand it can be caused from decomposition, but you said she was wasted. They're saying that she wasn't. She didn't have anything in her system. So if she didn't have anything in her system, she was competent and alert enough to know that she was not driving on the road, is what I'm saying. So if she didn't have any alcohol or drugs in her system, she knew where she was going. So then the only other option would be she unalived herself. And if that's true, then it wasn't an accident. Okay. It says, I didn't say she was wasted. They did show ethanol and THC in her system and nicotine, among other things. Oh, I'm sorry if I misspoke, because I could have swore that, let's see. Oh, right here, Gypsy. This is where I got it from. You said it was dark and she was wasted. I've been wasted and 16 and about died myself. Shoot, I've been not wasted and 16 and almost wrecked, right? But yeah, I thought that's what it was. I thought you said she was wasted, but the coroner's report's saying she's not. It's okay, sweetheart. I just didn't know if I maybe misspoke. If you didn't say it, then I was going to say, hey, you didn't say that. Then I was wrong. Nana, check out Kevin Neese and the bullshit detector. Huh. Hello, Miss Tina. I forgot to say hello to you. I did see you come in. I'm glad you're listening. How are you this morning, Tina? We all knew that's what it would come out the way it did. Exactly. Like I said that not yesterday, but last Thursday on my live. I told you guys when that footage of that stupid car going in the lake and the car dying and going underwater, the very minute that her phone pinged, they were going to be coming out and say, oh, it was an accident, guys, so y'all just need to shut up about it. I knew that's what was going to happen. That's right, Truckee wanted this to all go away. They sure did. From my understanding, there was hardly any substances in her body. Just some, right? I don't think I could get out of a wrecked sober. Check out You Back to Jeff. Beautiful song for Kiely. Will do. That's fine, honey. And I mean, this page is this channel is for everybody and their opinions and their theories. If we don't all chip in and try to figure out what happened to these kids and bounce ideas and theories back and forth, we're not going to figure out what happened. I got you. I understand. I'm just saying that okay, you've seen autopsy reports. How many times does a coroner not do any pictures on an accident? How many times does a coroner not take any pictures whatsoever of the body when it's recovered. Right, I understand. James says, I have a seatbelt cutter, window breaker on the driver's seatbelt. It's all in my car. Right? It's in all my cars. Kevin Neese is on right now. He knows someone in Justice Department who he talked to about Kiely. Plans on doing something about this case. Well, that's good. Maybe she hit her head on the steering wheel because she tried to stop all of a sudden. She was a young driver. Yeah, that's how it happened, Corey. And it slung her all the way in the back behind the back seats. I still say there's more to it. I still think that maybe there was articles of clothing missing. I think somebody hurt that baby. I haven't seen photos of any victims underwater if you're asking about underwater. No, I'm saying in general. Coroners have a job to do when they come upon a deceased person. Part of their job is to take pictures of how they found the person, what shape that person was in. I mean, among other duties that they have, but one of them is to take pictures so they can, especially if they don't have a clue how the person passed. Part of their job is to take photos so that it can be investigated. If this coroner never took the first photo, then how could they do a correct and thorough investigation into what may have happened to her? So the medical examiner is the one that goes out to the site. Say when they find a deceased person in the woods, your medical examiner is the one that goes out into the woods to determine whether the person's alive or dead. That's the person I'm talking about. Whoever it is that goes out and actually sees the body wherever it's found. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say something's not right, because this coroner in his report states that he never took not the first photo. He describes what she looked like and how her body was positioned in the car before they removed it right there on the lake bank. He explains how she was put into a body bag and then transported to somewhere and then transported to the morgue. But he plainly states he never took the first photo. So if they didn't take any photos of what happened, what she looked like when the car was brought up out of the water, then how did they know? How did they do a thorough investigation? I agree, Corey. They should have taken pictures. It is very suspicious. If for no other reason, they should have took pictures just to have had them in her file. In case something in the future comes up, they should have covered all their bases. But they didn't. And there's a reason why they didn't. Plunder's video is pretty detailed, but it's 18 pages. Most interesting to me, what the last couple pages said. The whole scene was not handled properly, in my opinion. Right. They did. You're right. They did 0 for Kiely. My brother was found deceased recently, and a medical examiner went to the house. They did not do any autopsy, so we do not know what exactly happened. His death certificate states natural causes. Really? Well, I mean, I know the family has to request a autopsy in a situation like that, but still. But when it's an out and out accident, like involving a vehicle or a lake or, a party. John Q is going deep dive understanding autopsy and will do a show on it. Well, it'd probably help more if he would do a deep dive in trying to figure out how local and federal law enforcement works, and then, do a show about that. No, they're not saying natural causes in Kiely's case. They're saying that she drowned. Right. The autopsy does come out of the pocket if the family requests it, yes. They're saying that your mother-in-law died of natural causes, but Jens knows she didn't, but it would have cost Jens $5,000 for the autopsy. Wow. Why, what does Sweetie Paolo have to say? Truckee don't follow the rules. How are they explaining her being in the back of the vehicle? They didn't explain it. She drowned. It was ruled accidental. Cause of death is pending. It's Kiely Rodni. Her mother is Lindsay. Her dad is Daniel, or whatever his name is. But forensic, the forensic IDing of the body, still pending. Sorry, guys, I had to grab a drink. Hello, where's Summer? Good to see you in here, sweetheart. If it's been ruled an accident, then the case has been closed. If I was her mother personally, after that autopsy, I would have had an independent autopsy done on my child. But her mother wanted it to be an accident. I know it's the first few pages that say that. But it's the final autopsy. The whole thing is the final autopsy. So if it's a final autopsy, how can anything be pending? I agree, Tina. Follow the money. Yeah, I have not watched it yet, but I've seen that where they're showing the full video. What is it? From 9 something until 2 something in the morning. Yeah, they can't do a second autopsy because they had the body cremated. Oh, okay. Just so we get this out there, guys. The way Gypsy reads it, she says, read the dates on the final autopsy. It's a collection of evidence throughout the autopsy is what I'm saying. Okay, I got you. Doug from AWP did state that she may have tried to follow the air pocket to the back, but he also was not the one who died for Kiely. Dived. Nick has more experience diving to recover vehicles and trash. Well, I don't know what Nick done before this. I know Nick has more experience in diving. I don't know about for what. But the plain and simple fact is there's no way she could have been following the air pocket, guys. Y'all are forgetting. The car did not flip end over end. The car rolled from side over to its top. There was no air pocket at the back. That's been proven. The car rolled. The car went in with the headlights pointing to the open water. And when it was found, the headlights were still pointing to the open water. That means when it went in, the water started gushing in on I believe it was the driver's side because the mirror or whatever. But the water started gushing in the side and it rolled. It did not flip. So the water would have filled up in the back of the car just as fast as it was filling up in the front. There was no air pocket for her to chase. If she was chasing an air pocket, it would have been out the other open window on the other side of the car. Man, I feel for you. It's especially hard reading legal jargon. I'll do a LOL. I want to see the CBC, the liver and kidney findings, the bile fluid measurements, and the acidity, and chemical markers in it. And I want to know what the brain taps sample for brain fluid was. Did you watch Plunder's video that read the autopsy report, Tina? Well, she was also had a biological father, and her biological father could have also had an independent autopsy. The mother could not have stopped him, right? I agree. My youngest son has it too, so hard for him, and he's colorblind also. Hello, Anne Marie. Haven't seen you in here in a while, hon. We are assuming Kiely could see. Once that car hit the water, it would have been pitch black in there. I agree. And I'm not saying the girl did not drown. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they're saying it was an accident and that she drowned. Okay. What caused the accident? What caused her to drive into the lake? If she wasn't intoxicated, if she didn't have drugs in her system, then there's only two things. There's only one thing left that would have caused her to drive across, out of the road, across the beach, into the lake. And that would have been because she did it on purpose to unalive herself. If that's the case, then it should not have been ruled an accident. That's all I'm trying to say, guys. If it was an accident, what caused the accident? Was she drunk? Was she drugged up? Did somebody do this to her? There has to be a reason. Because if she wasn't drunk, she wasn't drugged up, the girl could have plainly seen she was driving off the main road and down through a beach towards water. If she didn't unalive herself, then what made her do that? They skipped over all that. That's what I'm saying. They skipped that part. They skipped over all the parts where all the people that supposedly saw her drunk and high. They're saying this was a sober 16-year-old girl who accidentally drove her car off the road, through a beach, into the water, and drowned on accident. I call bullshit. Hello, Zero. You jumping in here to help me out, or are you going to fuss with me too? One way in, one way out. But on this night, they were going by way of the beach. Kiely didn't know that way, got confused maybe. Oh, yeah, I could see it. She's following the other cars, which we saw the other cars go down there first. This is a straight. She's not drunk. She's not drugged up. She couldn't see the taillights in front of her making a severe right turn. So she just drove straight. Zero, I apologize. I'm not trying to be mean or hateful or anything. I'm just saying, if people can't honestly see that this is bullcrap, no, it's fine, honey. That's just how I talk. It's okay. When you see the embankment is steep enough that she wouldn't realize she was heading towards to the water. You can call bullshit also, Donna. Or I call bullshit also, okay. To me, it just doesn't make sense. It just don't. Well, Zero, you know I don't never fuss at you. I don't really fuss at anybody. I just get very passionate. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, guys. I just get very passionate when I think I see the picture so clear and I can't understand why other people can't see it. I wonder if someone was with her in the car. The passenger could have been fighting with Kiely and pressed her leg down to speed her up. Then they got out of the car in the lake. Well, Gypsy, I'm so sorry to hear about that, honey. Everybody say an extra prayer for Gypsy if you don't mind. It sounds to me like she needs it right about now. We had a girl from where I live and looked for over a year, finally found her and the car in the lake, the exact same scenario as Kiely. They also ruled it as an accident. His name is Gabriel Cook, missing from Peoria, Illinois. Appreciate it. Well, all rounder, nada. I honestly believe she took the wrong road before she knew it. Was she was in that reservoir? It was so dark. She was disoriented and she drowned. That might be what happened. I understand it makes me crazy when things don't make sense, but it's so clear something's not right. Exactly. Nana, do you think the pearl bags that Check It found could have been put on the gas pedal to drive car into the lake? Anything's possible, sweetheart. We'll never know now. We'll never know anything now because I guarantee you within a month, that all the information about this investigation, all the paperwork, any pictures that may have been taken at any point in time, all of it is going to disappear. Guarantee it. I would bet money on it. It'll all disappear. Maybe, but I don't think any texts went out at 12:33 when her phone was pinging the exact moment her phone or her car was going underwater. Oh wait, did we forget that the guy, I forget his name, that guy did the test to prove that when your car goes underwater, the lights don't immediately die? So explain that one to me, guys. Why, when her car submerged underwater, everything stopped? It don't happen. It just don't happen. The lights do not go out the minute the car goes underwater. The lights run straight from the battery. The battery can be submerged, so can the fuses, everything. The light keeps working until the battery dies. You too, Gypsy. You have a great day, honey. I'm not like a cop loving person per se, lol. I was a criminal before. I was a paralegal, lol. Ellie did F up, but I have always thought this was an accident. I do have to run. Appreciate the conversation. Well, you too, honey. And I don't hate cops either. I've always taught my kids to respect law enforcement. But I just here lately, for some reason, they've just been really messing up. More than just one case. You have a great day, honey. Try to stay safe. Come back anytime. If anything is shady with her case, I pray the people responsible get karma. I agree. I just don't understand why she wouldn't hit the brakes. Would the car have fallen in even if she had her foot on the brake? No, I don't believe it would have. I just got a voicemail from God, guys. Well, that's what it said. Came across on my Facebook. Quentin Simon, rest in heaven. Sweet angel baby boy, you have brought tears to the world. May you rest in your Father's arms as he keeps you safe and sound. Amen. Hang on for a second, guys. Sorry, guys. One of my kids, I always have to answer to make sure ain't nothing wrong with them. Hello, Miss Christola. There's another one of my kids. My kids come first, guys. Can't help it. They come first and foremost. I know where Summer. It's so sad. He's so adorable. Oh, okay. I get it now. You're speaking to Where's Summer. Okay. Like Summer, I give them lots of love and good home. Right? So, Miss Christola, what's your thoughts on the Kiely Rodney thing? I know you're cleaning while you're listening, while you're cleaning. You're always cleaning. But, honey, you're not supposed to continue to clean when you got a broke foot, broke arm, broke hand, bruised femurs, all that stuff. And still have kids to take care of. You're supposed to rest and get better. Nana, no matter what here on earth, is not the real judge anyway. If this was intentional and someone did do it, they will have to answer for it in front of God Almighty. I agree. And no matter how much bitching and moaning and groaning and complaining we do, it's not going to change it. These babies are gone. And we can't bring them back. But the least we could do is try to make the people that done it suffer or pay for what they did. That's just my opinion. And it just infuriates me when people want to make excuses for them. Yeah, I don't think it was an accident either, hon. Lisa Renee, she's not been in bed since she done it. Thank you, wee Scottish mom. Thank you, Corey. Just been down for the last week, guys. Y'all gotta give me time. I don't believe in creators squalling. Sorry, I do apologize. Yeah, it's an accident. I hope you assholes feel good about yourselves for putting the parents, friends, and family through hell. Because, oh, we do, Valerie, we do. We feel so fucking good about sitting around thinking about how these people are hurting these kids. I hope you feel real damn good your damn self. Go suck Lindsay's ass. Christola, get rid of her. Please. And for the rest of you, I apologize for what I just said. I love you too, Lisa Renee. I'm taking a breath, guys. Quentin has turned me up so bad, tore me up so bad, it's unreal, because I have been where that grandmother was at, and I done the complete opposite than her. That's why I call her a grand monster and not a grandmother. Right? I don't see her no more, honey, except for that one comment. Hello, Miss Country. Oh, well, thank you for coming, sweetheart. Tina, if you're still in here, I apologize to you too. I got her, I think, because I'm still at this new at this mod thing. This has been a very hard week and such an emotional week for a lot of us. And our emotions are running high. They are. No, I'm not good at standing up for myself. If one of my kids got gone, I'd want you to turn over every rock. Much appreciated. And honey, I would. There's not one of you on here that if you asked me to come to you, that I wouldn't. For the majority of my viewers, you all hold a special place in my heart, and I would do anything for you. And you guys know who you are. Guys, I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to go fix me some coffee and try to stop squalling. And please understand, it's not because I feel bullied or anything like that. It's just my heart is breaking. And these people just can't see. It's like they're on the devil's side. It's like they team up with him. And they just do anything and everything they can to keep these kids from getting justice. I love you guys. I'll see y'all later. Please say your prayers.